Every desire you've ever carried began as a reflection in another's eyes. Before you yearned for love, you witnessed its worship. Before you sought power, you saw it adored. Before you longed for freedom, you saw it envied. The flame of wanting never begins alone. It leaps from soul to soul like ancient fire, a contagion older than memory, older than language itself. And somewhere in that endless exchange, you mistook the echo for a voice, and the reflection for your face. Watch any crowd long enough, and the invisible current appears, the choreography of wanting. One gaze tilts upward, and soon 1,000 eyes follow the same star. We do not chase things, we chase their reflected meaning, the shimmer others cast upon them. What we call ambition is often just borrowed hunger, dreams rehearsed through generations. Desire is not a line, but a circle, a mirror reflecting a mirror until the world itself becomes a trembling of light. And in that shimmer, no one remembers who first looked. The gaze of another is a kind of gravity. It pulls you into being, sculpts your worth, and, if it turns away, it unravels your existence. You learn to live within that orbit, feeding on approval, dying by indifference. And so you build yourself not from truth, but from what can be seen. You wear admiration like armor, fear like a perfume, and call the costume yourself. But mirrors collide. The same light that shapes your face blinds the one beside you. Two mirrors facing each other create eternity. And eternity, when human, burns. Rivalry is the shadow cast by shared desire. We do not fight because we differ. We fight because we resemble. Every conflict begins when two souls reach for the same flame and cannot bear the reflection in the other's eyes. The wars of nations are only the quarrels of mirrors made vast. When the reflection becomes unbearable, we demand purification. We name a culprit, a vessel for our chaos, and hurl them into the abyss. The crowd breathes again. The air clears, the mirrors align. Peace, purchased by exile. But this calm is brittle, woven from the silence of the banished. And beneath it stirs the hunger for repetition, the ritual thirst for another offering. Tomorrow, the crowd will thirst again. Beneath imitation, beneath rivalry, lies a gentler terror, the knowledge that we will die. We sense the void's breath and cannot bear its intimacy. So we forge meaning as defense. Careers, monuments, gods, ideals. We polish our lives until they gleam, hoping death will confuse brightness for eternity. But every monument cracks, and through each fissure, night returns. So we build new idols, each promising to blind the darkness. Yet even the brightest screens fade to black. Then comes a day, perhaps between heartbreak and routine, when the mirror breaks. The pursuit falters, the performance collapses, and in the quiet between two breaths, you glimpse what was always there. Nothing belongs to you, not even your wanting. And in that absence, something vast and tender breathes through you. What you call desire was life itself, yearning to remember itself through your pulse. The hands once clenched in envy become hands that hold, hands that forgive, hands that release. Grace is not triumph, it is not escape, it is surrender. The collapse of rivalry, the silence after the storm of mirrors. Grace is when imitation becomes communion, when wanting turns transparent, and the other's joy feels like your own. To no longer possess the flame, but to dwell within its warmth, that is freedom. And from that understanding, a gentler world might begin, where longing no longer wounds, but illuminates. But can we remain there, in that fragile grace? Or must we return again and again to the marketplace of mirrors, hungry for reflection, afraid of the dark? Perhaps the path forward is not to escape desire, but to sanctify it. To imitate, yes, but consciously, lovingly. The mirror will never vanish. The flame will never die. The question is not how to flee them, but how to dance with them without becoming their ash. Next time, we will enter that silence and ask what remains when the sacred no longer requires a victim.